Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning to you. It is Thursday. It is April 14th. New this morning, a man is in the hospital after surviving a run-in with a freight train on the north side of town.
San Antonio police say for some reason that man was standing on the tracks just before he was hit early this morning. They found him near West Summit and Blanco Road. Katrina Weber is there and tells us the train's conductor actually saw this coming.
This had to be an especially disturbing experience for the conductor of this train. He told police that he actually saw the man on the track staring at him. And he says although he tried, he wasn't able to stop the train before it hit him. Well, that happened before 7 o'clock this morning. Police got the call from about 150 yards back on the tracks. That is where this crash happened. They say they searched the area, but they couldn't find the man at first. They later noticed that he was near the front of the train, which had stopped again about 150 yards down the tracks near Summit and Blanco. Police say that the man was taken to a hospital and he was in critical condition at that time. This appears to be the latest in what seems to be a dangerous trend, people being hit by trains. Police say that recently we have seen several people who they describe as homeless being hit and killed by the trains. The man who was hit and injured this morning, they say also appeared to be homeless, possibly in his 50s. Reporting from the north side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Other top stories we've been following this morning, 2 separate shootings that happened overnight where 2 teenagers were injured.
The first one happened on Briggs Avenue on the southwest side, and then a couple of hours later, another shooting happened on Emerald Ash.
In the first reported shooting, San Antonio police say a 16-year-old was shot in the neck after a fight in front of an apartment complex not far from 35 and Southwest Military. This happened right around midnight.
Police say a vehicle was also hit during the gunfire. The team was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, and so far, no arrests have been made.
That second shooting happened just before 2 a.m. on the south side. A small get-together in an apartment ended with gunfire, and 1 person was hurt.
San Antonio police are still looking for the person involved in this incident as well. Jonathan Cotto has been covering the story all morning and has the latest information.
Good morning, Mark and Stephanie. We're learning the teenager shot here at this apartment community has been taken to University Hospital, and we're told he is in critical condition. We've learned San Antonio police were called out to the Rosemont at University Park apartment complex close to 2 this morning. This is near 410 and Pleasanton. They say there were 4 men and 2 women inside an apartment having drinks. When the guests were asked to leave, police tell us that's when a fight broke out. One of the men had a gun and shot the 17-year-old victim in the chest. Mark, Stephanie, it's important to mention the gunman did take off in a white SUV with another man and a woman. Right now, this shooting is under investigation. We'll update you as more information is made available. Reporting from the city's south side, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
And taking a look outside with live cam, we are warming up a little bit, but the good news, we will not warm up as much as we did yesterday.
This is true. Yesterday was way too hot. We got up to 98 degrees yesterday. Today, a little cooler. We're going to shave off about 10 to 12 degrees for the daytime high. It's beautiful out there right now. 64 degrees at the airport, 57 in Kerrville, 65 in Del Rio, 63 in New Braunfels, and there's still several places in the 50s. That's going to change soon. Because with dry air, clear skies, we should get those temperatures to rise into the 80s later today. 86 is what we're shooting for tomorrow. Moisture returns. We get cloud cover, some drizzle to start. 85 on your Friday. And then Saturday, it's going to be downright hot. 95 forecast high. Hot, humid. There could be a stray storm or 2. We may see that on Sunday as well. But hopefully shouldn't interrupt any of your Easter weekend plans. This is the news that kind of jarred everybody in the newsroom this morning. 18,600, that's where Oak sits today in the very high category. Actually jumped up from yesterday's number. Meantime, got a few clouds down to the south of San Antonio, but it is clear here, and those temperatures, again, in the 50s and 60s. So our forecast, 76 noontime, 84 by 3 p.m., 86 at 4 p.m. That's going to be our high. Southeasterly winds will kick in later today, and that starts the process of bringing in the moisture. And you'll notice it tomorrow. Again, we'll have some drizzle potentially tomorrow morning. More on your Easter weekend forecast in the drought monitor. That just came in. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Justin. Traffic alert right now. We have some major traffic troubles on the northeast side. Now, we've got an 18-wheeler off to the side of the road there at 1604 Pat Booker, but that's not the big problem spot. I'm showing 2 accidents on the ramp from southbound 35 to westbound loop 1604. So this same general area, but a little bit further down the loop itself off in the distance. We'll keep an eye on this for you. In your morning headlines, the suspect in a subway attack in New York headed to court today, and the U.S. preparing to give even more assistance to Ukraine.
Plus, for those of you getting ready to retire, we have some news if you have a 401k. David Sears is here to explain all of this. Morning.
Yeah, a lot of baby boomers are going to be affected by this. So we'll have that for you in just a second. But first, let's start with this. Between the city of New York's finest, an aware citizen, and a strange phone call to a tip line, the man suspected of that subway attack Tuesday morning is now in custody. That is Frank James right there. He was taken into custody yesterday just after noon our time. James is expected to go before a judge sometime today in federal court. He is accused of throwing a smoke bomb into a subway car, then opening fire and hitting 10 people. Some injuries were serious, but all the victims are expected to survive. According to law enforcement, after committing that crime, James was on the run. The manhunt was on. Then yesterday, a strange twist, he actually called the tip line, set up for anyone with information. He had some information. He told the tip line that he was at a McDonald's in Manhattan's East Village. When police got there, he was gone, but he was just around the corner. The police got an assist from a bystander.
We were able to shrink his world quickly. There was nowhere left for him to run. We hope this arrest brings some solace to the victims and the people of the city of New York.
James will be charged with several crimes and could spend the rest of his life in jail if convicted on all counts. He already has a long criminal history. Once again, he is expected to make his first appearance in federal court today. The Ukrainians continue to stand their ground as they fight for their country against the Russians. They are also continuing to hit the Russian army and navy with major blows. Ukrainian fighters claiming they have hit a Russian warship in the Black Sea with cruise missiles. It happened to be the flagship of that fleet, and soon after it was hit, it started to sink. Russia says it is still afloat, and the crew was able to get to other ships in the area. Once again, the U.S. is sending aid to help the Ukrainians in their fight against the Russian invasion. That comes after President Joe Biden and Ukrainian President Zelensky had a lengthy phone call conversation. That aid this time adds up to about $800 million. The aid coming as Putin repositions his troops for an eastern assault. Satellite images showing his forces on the move. Armored vehicles and support equipment are ready to attack in the eastern city of Kharkiv. Military experts claim cluster bombs are being used to attack the city and terrorize civilians. Local officials say at least 7 people died from the latest attack. 20 more were wounded. There is a generation known as the baby boomers, and folks who are baby boomers are either retiring or getting close to that time. The Biden administration is trying to help out future retirees with some new restrictions on and rules when it comes to 401k programs. So here's one of the changes. If you work for a company that sponsors a retirement plan, you would automatically be enrolled at a 3% level. It would increase by 1% annually until you reach 10%. Workers would have the option to change their contribution or opt out altogether. The bill would also change mandatory withdrawals and limit penalties if you don't withdraw on time.
Most people do not understand something called the pay yourself first rule. And that means put money in your retirement plan before you start spending money on things like entertainment and travel. The three-legged stool of retirement has basically turned into a pogo stick, and it's going to be on your back and your responsibility to save money.
The bill expected to be signed by President Biden by the end of the year. No old man jokes, Justin. Keep it to yourself.
Nothing. I got nothing.
Okay, good.
There you go.
So,
They opened your microphone just in case.
just in case. I figured one was coming
now.
after the retirement story and the 401k.
He also has 54 more minutes, so
Yes.
stay tuned. Right.
We'll see you in a bit.
Now I'm out of here.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, thanks.
Well, another big story we are continuing to monitor this morning is the situation down on the Texas-Mexico border.
After days of protests that brought cargo traffic at the FAR Reynosa International Bridge in the Rio Grande Valley to a standstill, wheels are once again in motion.
Customs and Border Protection confirmed to our KSAT team down there that the blockade in Reynosa ended around 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. But as our Alicia Berrera reports, traffic is still slow as DPS inspections continue as ordered by Governor Abbott.
Good morning. Well, Governor Abbott says that this order of enhanced inspections isn't going to end, at least not anytime soon, as it's an added layer of border security in response to Title 42 ending soon. And this is what it looks like here. This is the second stop at the Far International Bridge for commercial vehicles. After their inspection by Customs Border Protection is complete, they join this wait list, and DPS troopers are looking for defective brakes, tires, and lighting, among other violations. Abbott says the inspections are to keep unsafe vehicles off the road and prevent the traffic of drugs and undocumented immigrants. And while things are active in FAR, DPS has ended its enhanced inspections at one border crossing about 200 miles from here in Laredo.
Clogged bridges can end only through the type of collaboration that we are demonstrating today between Texas and Nuevo Leon.
A new deal between Texas and the governor of Nuevo Leon ends the enhanced inspections on the U.S. side of the Colombia border crossing, as Mexican officials will conduct their own inspections there. And governors in Chihuahua, Coahuila, and Tamaulipas are asking for the same, but so far no announcement has been made. And we did get to speak to several drivers, and when asked if they would be willing to come back into the U.S. knowing there could be hours-long delays, they quickly answered absolutely, as this really is their only option to keep their job. In the Rio Grande Valley for GMSA, Alicia Barrera.
Thank you, Alicia. Well, there's a lot to get into when it comes to Title 42, the order that started all of this, and that's why our KSAT Explains team breaks it all down for you.
So just scan the QR code on your screen to watch the full episode. The KSAT Explains team looks at how the asylum-seeking process is supposed to work and how Title 42 has upended that system. You can also watch on KSAT Plus, available any way you stream.
9:09, about 64 degrees.
And coming up next, we're going to check in with Justin for the full forecast. Plus, David and RJ will break down the Spurs game last night.
We'll be right back. 9:12.
20% full and falling, down to 6 feet over the last 3 months. As we look at the drought conditions here, 69 days now at San Antonio International, in which we have not seen at least 1/4 inch of rain. We've only seen 4.75 inches since October 28th. The numbers are getting fairly dire. And as we look at the outlook going into the spring and into summer, it doesn't look great. Here are the rain chances for the weekend. 20% chance Saturday, 30% chance Sunday. So we should get some isolated stuff, and then we'll have some more chances. Hopefully next week. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Now into more positive stuff. It's beautiful outside. We've got blue skies, 64 degrees at the airport, east-northeasterly winds at about 8, and the dew point is down to 42. 50 still in places like Fredericksburg and Kerrville, 59 there, 64 Uvalde, and 64 Helotes, 65 at Port SA, and 68 out there in Castroville. Everybody's seeing blue skies. The dry air is still in place. We've got dew points in the 40s. But that's going to change tonight. We'll start to see moisture moving back in. We're already starting to see some of that. This area you see that's green, that's deep moisture, or at least pretty thick moisture, and that's going to surge back in to the area overnight tonight. Still very dry out west, but even these numbers are starting to moderate a little bit. The air was extremely dry yesterday. We had that concern about wildfires. Thankfully, we didn't see much, and that really is a good thing. Dew point forecast shows that we will see those dew points rise as we get into tonight. Eventually into the 50s and probably 60s by tomorrow morning. That'll lead to some drizzle and cloud cover to start your Friday. But in the meantime, clear skies, 72, 11 o'clock. By 4 p.m., 86. Southeasterly winds are already starting to kick in. They could be a little breezy from time to time today. And then this evening, if you have plans to be out and about, 80 degrees at 8 o'clock, clear, 75 at 9 p.m. Forecast tomorrow morning does show a little bit of drizzle here and there. Then clouds clear out by tomorrow afternoon. Then on Saturday, morning clouds. An outside chance for a storm late in the day on Saturday, and I think that's probably going to be north of San Antonio, but we can't rule it out. Then on Sunday, a weak boundary tries to move in, and that will give us just a little bit more of a focus. We'll bring rain chances up to 30%, but I'd say your Easter plans still probably okay. This is going to be generally late in the day. 87 degrees by midday, 94 by the afternoon on Easter Sunday. And, you know, the bigger issue here may be the heat. It's going to be hot and humid, so if you're outside, just know it's going to feel pretty summer-like. That's the case Saturday, too, with a high of 95. 87 Monday, 86 Tuesday, and then some rain chances do come back into the forecast on Wednesday.
See all the eggs in the basket there, Steph?
Yeah.
That's what's all over my tie for tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Very
So
colorful.
We are ready to go.
I'll have
It's going to happen.
It is. Thank you, Justin. 9:16, about 64 degrees.
melted peeps. After the break, we're talking Spurs with David and RJ. They're going to have the breakdown of last night's
I'm not
game.
wearing a necktie with melted peeps on it. Sorry.
We're not going to hear that song for a while.
Not for a while.
No. So the season, sadly, has come to an end for our San Antonio Spurs. We're still proud, though.
That's the nicest way for Steph to say
Wow.
it's over. We're not going to hear that animation and music for a while. Spurs fall to the Pelicans in the play-in last night. David's back with RJ to break down this disappointing loss. Most of us stayed up and watched some or all of what happened last night.
We stayed
Steph,
up.
I took the hit for you. I stayed up till the bitter end.
Oh, to the bitter end.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I said, this
Emphasis
is gonna be
on
it.
bitter.
Yeah.
You know what happened?
David was texting me. He was texting me his
Yeah.
analysis of the first
Yeah.
half and telling me what the Spurs needed to do.
So, but here's my question for you real quick. Did you pick out the black before or after you found out the score? You're going to wear black today?
After, but
After,
I have a Fiesta-themed
Okay.
Spurs
All right.
earring still, so there's hope.
Very nice. Yeah.
And if we could
Still
loop back real quick, you guys mentioned a name before we even started the game last night that we knew was going to be key, and that was CJ McCollum.
CJ McCollum, yes, the Spurs killer himself. Been doing
The
that actually
Spurs
for
killer.
a while. Back when he was with Portland, and he was on fire in the first half. especially.
27 in the first half. And here was the problem for the Spurs. They got nothing out of
Man.
DeJounte
DeJounte,
Murray.
there he
Well, they
is.
got fouls out of him.
Yeah.
He got
fouls in
two
the first
fouls
half.
like real quick.
Yeah.
And then he got his
Very
third, so
frustrating.
he had to sit. And Keldon Johnson was a no-show in the first half.
Yeah, and
So that was not good.
it's very hard to win when your
Yeah.
two best players do not show up for a game of this magnitude in the first half there. And you mentioned the foul trouble from DeJounte Murray, just not good decisions by DeJounte, and then also late in the game as well. Keldon did kind of heat up a little bit in the second half.
Yeah, but that was when they were up 20,
down
when
2.
Pelicans were up 21, and it's kind of
Oh,
like, cruising through to the end. So that's when he scored. The guy that did show up yesterday was Devin Vassell.
Yeah.
He was
Justin's guy.
He was 7 of 15 overall, but 7 of 13 from three-point land. So all his points were from three, and he hit like 4 or 5 in a row to start the game or something.
I
and
mean,
that was
without
it.
Devin Vassell, this game's probably over in the
Oh.
first half. But he made some big shots. They actually cut it down to 6, David,
Yep.
with about 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and then a couple of defensive breakdowns. Again, don't want to put all the blame on DeJounte, but he really struggled there towards the end of the game and letting some of the Pelicans kind of extend that lead late in
Yeah, the
fourth
Pelicans
quarter.
were up 21. It looked like a typical Spurs game throughout the season.
Exactly.
The Spurs would either go up big and then blow the lead, or they would go down big and then make a comeback and make it a game at the end. And that's what it looked like last night. And
You know what?
it ended up with the same.
I think that's fair.
Big L.
You know what, David? You and Pop are thinking the same, man.
we're on
I
the
guess
same
you've been
wavelength.
covering him for so long.
Yeah.
Let's hear what Coach Pop had to say about this, because it sounds like what David's talking
Yeah.
about.
For 3 quarters, I think they outplayed us. They were more physical. They executed better. They deserve credit. Willie and his guys did a great job. Happy for them. And we stayed in it, got back in it, but then we made the same mistakes again that we did in the first 3 quarters as far as non-physical defense. It's the playoffs.
All right, there you go, David. Basically,
It's the playoffs.
echoing the
the
same thing
playoffs.
you said. Yes, like just came out the gate slow. We're not ready for the intensity, the physicality, and then they did make a run, but again, little too late for the Spurs here.
It's over. All right, so the two inevitable questions
Oh,
for
yes.
Spurs
Here
fan
we go.
everywhere this morning.
Go ahead, fire away.
One, Coach Pop's future. 2, draft outlook for the Silver and Black.
The draft outlook looked great. They've got some options right now. If you look at the mock drafts, they are in the lottery, so that means they're going to get a lottery pick because they're going to get one of the top 14 picks. Some people have them like getting the 9th pick in the first round, and then I just saw a draft order that has them getting the 9th pick, the 21st pick, and the 24th pick because they have the Toronto pick and they have the Boston.
Boston pick from the Derek White trade. Yeah.
But I don't know that they want to pay all those guys because those are automatic payments.
Yeah.
So maybe they bundle a little bit
Probably
of that
package
together.
him. Maybe if they really
And-
like a guy in the top 6 or 7, maybe move up a little bit, use some of those picks there. And you mentioned the question
about Coach Pop. So a couple reporters there tried to sort of get around the question by asking him, what are you looking for in the draft? And Coach Pop did not want to really address that too much. He said, well, you know, the draft's the draft. And when he was asked about whether he's going to come back next year, he said, that's an inappropriate question.
Oh,
so there we go.
Okay. All right.
So
And you
there's the
know,
answer to
nobody
that.
has ever asked Pop an inappropriate question before. Never.
Not even you, face to face.
No, I never asked him an inappropriate question.
Yeah. You and Pop have never had a one-on-one in the hallway, have you?
No, we've never had single discussions like that. I've never asked him an inappropriate question. I've never been yelled at by Pop. I've never been.
Just to be careful, lightning's about to strike.
Oh.
Yeah. Pop's never looked at me with like,
Never, not
what in
one
the world
time.
was that
Yeah.
question?
So what do we think?
We love you, Pop.
We do.
And don't retire yet because we're going to miss you.
Oh, more than a footnote. More than a footnote. Becky Hammond is done in San Antonio, off to Las Vegas to become the head coach of the Aces.
So,
Yeah. And he said he's going to miss her too.
Yeah, so did the players as well. They said they're really going to miss the time they spent with Becky. DeJounte talked about how he's helped him develop. So yeah, Becky Hammond is no longer with the team. She's now.
I think she's going to. I think that's going to be a big hit to the Spurs. Front office and to the Spurs coaching staff, because I think she brought a lot. I don't know that we were able to see it all because we're not allowed in practices for very long, but I think she brought a lot to them. I think she brought a lot of that knowledge and the experience to this team, especially these young guys.
Yeah,
and I think that she's going to be
going
missed
back to those days. Yeah,
as one of the coaches. And you know, the disappointing thing. Well, you never know. You never know what's going to happen, but I still say she would be a top candidate if Pop decided to retire. There's got to be something in this contract that says if she can get to the NBA, she can leave. Was it Utah, right?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, close.
But you wonder if she kind of knew something ahead of time, and maybe that's why she took the Las Vegas gig. Maybe she's already been notified that Coach Pop is coming back, or if he does not, maybe the Spurs are looking in another direction.
All speculation at this point.
Yes.
But anyway,
okay.
It'll be an interesting offseason.
All right, so we're moving on, Steph.
We are moving on.
Smile now. We're looking to the future. We're not going to dwell on the past.
They played hard.
They played hard. They showed up.
We're in it together.
But here, you can have the last stat sheet.
Okay, thank you.
Hang that on your wall and look forward to something positive.
All right,
next year.
I'll hold on to this.
Oh, wait, this is a loss. We'll hide this for next year.
It's a loss.
She's not going to frame it.
But you can hang on to that, and next year you can go see how much got better they
Where's
got.
that recycle bin?
We still have great memories. We're still proud of our team.
David, thank you guys. Great coverage this season. Thank you. 9:27, about 64 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA at 9, including a more in-depth look at a story that RJ did last week. He's going to be back with us to talk more about Miracle League of San Antonio.
And after the break, digital journalist Ferris Sabawi will join us to talk about the red light camera program in Balcones Heights, even though Texas's legislature outlawed it. He'll explain more when we come back. 9:30, welcome back. Although the Texas legislature has outlawed red light camera programs, tickets keep rolling in for drivers in Balcones Heights.
Digital journalist Ferris Sabawi joins us now to explain all about this topic. Good morning, Ferris.
Good morning, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Hi, Ferris. All right, so Balcones Heights, suburb here, kind of on San Antonio's near northwest side. How has this program been allowed to continue?
Yeah, Mark. So when the Texas legislature passed this law in 2019 that banned cities from adopting red light camera policies, what they decided to do was to allow cities that already have red light cameras. They grandfathered in those cities, allowing those programs to continue for as long as that contract runs. So we actually have two in San Antonio suburbs that still do red light cameras. One of them is Leon Valley, and the other one is Balcones Heights. And the Balcones Heights contract was first approved in 2006 and then was extended to run until 2034. So that's quite a long time that Balcones Heights drivers will continue to see these red light camera tickets in that city. And the interesting thing is, though, even though the legislature has allowed these programs to continue in some form, they really narrowed the way the enforcement mechanisms happen. So the city can't really force any driver to pay these tickets anymore. It's just a civil penalty and, not a criminal penalty, nothing that can be held against you at the DMV or against your insurance. Not paying it will not result in a warrant for your arrest either.
But a lot of people pay it. So how much money has Balcones Heights brought in from red light cameras?
Yeah, Stephanie, that was something I was really interested in when working on this story. I requested data from Balcones Heights to see exactly how much money they're bringing in, how many tickets they're writing. And it was really interesting. As the city has grown, they have issued more and more tickets. And so in 2019, that was around maybe 22,000 red light camera tickets that they issued. In 2021, it was closer to 30,000. And even though a smaller fraction paid these red light camera tickets with, over these last 3 years, we're still finding that 50% of the drivers who have been ticketed do pay that ticket. In 2021, that brought in roughly $1.3 million of revenue. And that's important. That's a lot of money, but it's also important to keep in mind that the city doesn't keep all of that. A big chunk of it goes to administrative and personnel expenses for the people who run this program. And then another portion of it actually goes to the state of Texas as part of that state law. Some of that money gets recaptured into the state budget. And then from that, Balcones Heights keeps roughly a quarter of all of that revenue that's left. And they also keep all the late fees and any interest that is accrued. In 2021, they were able to keep somewhere around $300,000. And it's important to note that that money doesn't go into city coffers for them to do whatever they want with. That money has to go back into the traffic safety program that they have and be used in future traffic projects and other traffic reduction projects.
All right, Fair. So here we are, almost mid-April 2022. What should drivers do now if they get a red light camera ticket?
Yeah, the first thing I would suggest, Mark, is make sure you read the ticket that you get. It's going to have language in there that shows that it's a civil penalty. It'll also include directions on how to appeal it. So I would say that's the first thing you should do is make sure you try to appeal that ticket, see what proof they have. But even if the appeal doesn't work out in your favor, and most appeals don't, even if that doesn't work out, motorists still do not have to pay this ticket. Again, it's only a civil penalty, and it's not something that's very enforceable. Now, the city has defended keeping this red light camera policy in place. They say that it has led to a reduction in crashes that they've noticed, and they think it keeps the city safer. So that's, for what that's worth, that's important to keep in mind. But like I said, if you get this ticket in the mail, if you appeal it and that doesn't work out, you don't have to pay it. The only thing is that ticket would be forwarded to a collection agency, but those will probably come up as a scam likely call on your phone. And, you might be able to ignore that for quite a while as well.
All right, Ferris, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Let's go back outside with TransGuide right now, see how things are looking out there. It looks like most of our incidents have now cleared up and our slowdowns have gone away. As we take a peek at 10 and Probant and I-35 at Loop 410.
And taking a look outside with a live cam. Now we are at 66 degrees, so slowly warming up today.
Yeah, those temperatures bottomed out right around 60 this morning. Now we're starting to see that rise, and we'll get temperatures into the 80s this afternoon. A lot better than yesterday. Yesterday was a hot day for us in a large portion of South Texas. We got up to 98 here. Yesterday down at Falcon Lake, which is typically one of the hot spots in the country, 110. That was the hottest place in the country. The cold spot this morning, Checkerboard, Montana. On the backside of that low, -14 for a whopping 124-degree temperature difference between the high and the low. And there's still some blizzard conditions going on up there. Places like Bismarck, North Dakota, third day in a row, blizzard conditions, heavy snow still coming down, gusty winds on the backside of that area, low pressure. And that's the same system that brought us at least a little bit of weather a couple days ago. 76 by noontime. We'll be up around 86 for a high today. A little warmer down to the south, some low 80s for places like Kerrville and Bernie. We're going to be looking ahead to the Easter weekend. What can we expect? Could we see some more thunderstorms? We'll take a look at that forecast and talk about oak pollen too, coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Justin. Well, after an 18-month hiatus, the Miracle League of San Antonio is back for its spring season. RJ Marcus joins us again to tell us more about the league that is now celebrating its 15th year.
Yeah, unbelievable here for the Miracle League to be on its 15th year. Of course, this started back in 2007, and a lot of kids have been able to take advantage of this opportunity to really get out and play some baseball. And it's spring, so you know baseball is a really big deal in all of South Texas and around around the country. So this is just a really cool option for these kids to have the Miracle League back again this year.
And then, for those of, who don't know, tell us a little bit more about the Miracle League.
Yeah, so the Miracle League, it's a nonprofit organization that gives kids and adults with special needs the opportunity to play organized baseball. And this is with coaches and teams. Michael Miller started the Miracle League of San Antonio in 2007, along with the help of many people, including world champion boxer Jesse James Leija. Miller told me that he actually started this league because when his wife was pregnant with his first daughter, they were told that there was a chance that she would be born with Down syndrome. So she ended up being born healthy, but Miller said that it made him really think about what parents and families of special needs children can do, and he just wanted to do something for those families. So he started raising funds in 2003 to open the Miracle League, and then later build this field that you're seeing right now, and they are now playing some ball out there on the southwest side.
You really can't put it into words, and I tell people whenever they ask about it, I said, come out and experience it for yourself. But the caveat that I tell them is don't come unless you want your life changed. We've tried to make it a community-led organization where people who donate can come out and see where their money is going. So that's kind of what started this whole process years ago.
And this league has been so successful, guys, over the years that they've had families drive in from hours away. He told me that there was one family that drove in about 4 or 5 hours from Coleman just to be able to play in a couple of the games, just to get their kids out there. And you see that there's always volunteers, a lot of people there. Maury Vasquez,
yeah,
we all know.
I see Maury.
Maury Vasquez, Mr. San Antonio.
Right there behind home plate.
Yeah. He's actually the PA announcer.
Okay.
So he calls all the Miracle League games, and they get, we saw when we went out there, San Antonio Christian School, their football team was out there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of volunteer organizations and schools that also go out there and help pitch and get sort of the games going.
Maury is a bit qualified to handle
a lot of
announcing.
energy.
So RJ, so glad you did this story. Who's eligible to play in this league?
So as Michael Miller told me, basically it's any special needs child or adult. So every kid gets to hear their name and the PA speaker, and he basically said that all they just want families to come out. They're not going to check if your child or your relative is special needs. They understand that for everyone that's a little bit different, but he said that Down syndrome, autistic, cerebral palsy, deaf, blind, anything, they just want people to go out there. He said you are very much welcome, and it's free to play, so everyone's going to get on a team.
Well, that's good that it's free.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, when and where are these games being played?
Yeah, so they have 2 seasons. They have a fall season and a spring season, and they're being played every Saturday morning at the Mays Family Field. And for people that have not been out to the Mays Family Field, it's basically this unique surface that helps people with wheelchairs. It has access for all of that, all the ramps and everything that you would need. And they also play football out there. They play rugby. So again, he said that sometimes adults go out there as well, and they sometimes play games of football out in the outfield, and they have the kiddos playing a little bit near the diamond. The other thing he said is that there are games back to back to back. So there's 3 games every Saturday starting at 9 a.m.
It almost looks like a tennis court surface out there.
It's basically kind of that same sort of surface. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So what has changed after COVID?
So the delay was caused, that 18-month hiatus was because of COVID. They had to take their time to be able to get everybody back up to speed. And sadly, they actually lost 2 players during COVID. So so Mr. Miller was very kind of sad about that, heartbroken about it. But he said that now they're taking all the safe precautions. He wants parents that are interested in going out there to make sure to check with their pediatricians, because he knows that a lot of these young men and women have underlying symptoms or conditions. So he just wants to double check to make sure that it's okay with their pediatricians. But yeah, they're still taking all precautions there, sanitizing everything, and make sure that everything is safe to go.
As Steph and I are watching this video with you, RJ, I mean, is there anybody out there that's not smiling?
That's what he said. It's a life-changing experience. I mean, he said that anytime you come out here, you see parents, kids smiling, and he said it's just kind of a little bit of a break from the daily routine. So yeah, a lot of kids smiling, and again, everyone that goes out there gets to hit. Everyone's going to be on a team. They're going to play with organized coaches, and everyone hits a home run too. So that's a good thing as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Gets to run the bases as well.
Well, thank you, RJ, for bringing this story to us about the Miracle League.
Yeah, I had a great time doing it, and being able to talk with Michael Miller and also get to talk with the kids and parents. It was a pretty cool experience.
Is your story on KSAT.com?
It is. The full story is on KSAT.com if you want more information about the Miracle League, how to donate. Again, this is a nonprofit organization, so they do run on the funds from people generously donating to their cause.
Outstanding.
Thanks, RJ.
Thank you. Good seeing you. Right now, 9:42, about 66 degrees. You are watching GMSA at 9.
And coming up next, we're going to have the latest edition of Kids Want to Know, where some elementary students got the chance to learn more about video games and how they're made.
In this week's KSAT Kids edition of Kids Want to Know, a few elementary students got a chance to interview a producer at a game company in California to learn more about how video games are created.
So here's just part of that interview.
Why do you make games? I make games because games are fun, right? Who doesn't love games? Games are really fun to play. They're also fun to make. I get to work with a lot of great and talented people, from artists to designers to producers to programmers or engineers who write code to marketing people who help us package our game and get it out to the public. All these great people come together almost like a band, and we have to play in tune and on time. And that's my job, to make sure that the band is playing on time and in tune.
And you can watch the full interview the kids had with Jenny Martin on our website in the KSAT Kids section. And for teachers or parents, there's also some fun trivia questions you can ask your students. It's all on KSAT.com in the KSAT Kids section under the Entertainment tab.
Justin joined us now with what is essentially an oak pollen tracker.
Yeah, well, we kind of track the season. It's generalized, but you get the idea here. I'm always reminded, and I think I tweeted this out a couple times, of the song by Coldplay, It Was All Yellow. Remember that song?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's my wedding song. Pollen.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
How appropriate.
That's what I feel like when it's oak season. Everything is yellow or green. Anyway, let's look at the graph there. And it's, it tracks because we were seeing our highest counts, and we can update this. Actually, it's 18,000 now. That's the new count today. But we are right at the peak of oak season, mid-April. And then by the time we get into May, these numbers should start falling. And you can see the trees are still putting it out. So we're right there in the thick of it. Hopefully things do get better here in the coming weeks. Outside, blue skies. Beautiful, beautiful day. 64 degrees in San Antonio right now. 67 Stinson, 65 Kelly, 63 at Randolph. And east-northeasterly winds. We got down to about 60 this morning. I was just looking at Twitter, and Adam Caskey tweeted out a tweet from the Amarillo National Weather Service. Got down to 22 this morning in Dalhart, there in the northern part of the Panhandle. So it was chilly across parts of Texas. Here, nice morning, but not overly cold. And we'll see temperatures be fairly comfortable this afternoon, cooler than yesterday. We can see we've got clear skies here, a few clouds down to the south. And as we look a little bit closer here, 72 Castroville, 67 Rio Medina, 65 right now in Bandera. Here at 61 in Seguin and 63 in New Braunfels. Dew point tracker, and this is important next couple of days. These dew points have been low. We've had the fire threat. By this evening with a southeasterly wind, we should see that dew point increase quite a bit. And then by tomorrow morning, there'll be enough moisture in place where we should get some drizzle and some cloud cover, and then eventually break out into some sun tomorrow afternoon. But the humidity stays with us through the weekend. It's going to be hot and humid over Easter weekend. As for today, temperatures eventually make their way into the 70s by midday, 76. And then a high temperature somewhere around 86, as we said, 87 Somerset, 87 in Elmendorf, and then low 80s in places like Bernie and Crewville. Our forecast, there's some of that drizzle I was talking about. So this is 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then the clouds scatter out. By 6 p.m. we're looking at partly cloudy conditions. And as we get into the weekend, same story, clouds in the morning. But by the afternoon, this is 5 p.m. Saturday, we could start to see a few pop-up storms. There's not really a trigger there, so I think on Saturday it's going to be a few and far between if we see anything at all. But we do always have to watch storms this time of year because they can become strong just based on the atmosphere. And then as we get into Sunday, we'll get a weak boundary trying to move south. And this may serve as a little more of a focus for us, and that's why we put rain chances at 30%. Still on the low end. Still, there's no reason to cancel your Easter plans or anything like that. But the hope is that maybe we'll get a few downpours out there with this boundary. And the forecast for Easter, cloudy in the morning, close to 70, and then 87 midday, mostly cloudy. And then by the evening hours, 94 with that 30% chance of a shower or storm. It will be humid, as I said, so the heat's going to be a real issue over the weekend. By the time we get into next week, we'll be in the upper 80s, 87 Monday, 86 on Tuesday. And then it looks like the end of next week could be a little more active. At least that's the hope. And then that would bring back some more rain chances. It's always tough this time of year because you do want the rain chances in the forecast. You don't want the severe weather. And oftentimes they come together. So that's just the way it is. But hopefully this weekend it'll time out well.
All right. Yeah. Hopefully Easter will be okay.
Should be. Yep.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, sir. 9:51, about 67 degrees.
We'll be right back. Tomorrow on GMSA at 9, we're going to be live at the Passion Play at San Fernando Cathedral. The Easter tradition is back once again.
Tomorrow we'll start with prayer service over at Milam Park. Then Passion Play will begin at noon. It'll be followed by a procession to the cathedral.
We're already up to 68 degrees now on our way to 86 this afternoon. It'll still be warm, but thankfully not as hot as yesterday. Tomorrow, a lot more moisture, a lot more cloud cover. 85 on your Good Friday, 95 Saturday, 94 Sunday for Easter Sunday. Just small chance of a storm late in the day.
A website or a company called Blue Loop, B-L-O-O Loop, like Loop 410, is out with the top list of zoos in the United States, and the San Antonio Zoo made the list.
Yeah, made the list. It's number 4, but we're going to tell you who number 1 is first. Coming in number 1 is Smithsonian National Zoo, Washington, D.C.
Number 2 in the country, the Monterey Bay Aquarium in Monterey, California.
Number 3, New England Aquarium, Boston, Massachusetts.
And then us, San Antonio Zoo made the list. Number 4 on the list, Tops welcomes over 1 million visitors each year, set over more than 50 acres, houses more than 750 species, some of which are endangered or extinct in the wild.
Yeah, it's a quote here. It's all about how incredible your habitats are for your animals, how much conservation work for you are doing, and how much education you are doing.
Number 4. All right, number 5, Florida Aquarium in Tampa.
And number 6, we have the Lincoln Park Zoo in Chicago, Illinois.
And then rounding out the top 10, Georgia Aquarium in Atlanta, St. Louis Zoo in St. Louis, and the Houston Zoo. Oh, and the Aquarium of the Niagara.
Niagara Falls, New York. All right. Have a great day.